She was originally the unfavored second young miss of a prestigious family. Though blessed with stunning beauty, she was deemed useless, slow-witted trash. Relying on her looks, she married into the Ling family. Yet after the wedding, she treated her handsome and wealthy husband with indifference, easily falling for a scoundrel's lies and eloping with him. In the end, she met a tragic fate, betrayed by the scoundrel who conspired with her stepsister to push her off a cliff to her death. When Sherwei opened her eyes once more, she found herself in an unfamiliar setting. Scenes from her past life flashed through her mind. Wasn't I pushed off a cliff? Why am I here? Could it be I've traveled through time? Just then, an adorable little boy saw that Sherwei had awakened and immediately threw himself into her arms. I am the beloved young master of the Lin Corporation, young Master Lin Jua. You must be the mermaid from the picture books, right? Sherwei stared at the little boy in astonishment. This little tyke who couldn't even pull up his pants properly was Lin Jua, the son of her husband from her previous life? Such a cute, cuddly little dumpling. Why did I dislike him in my past life? Just as the two were playing happily, a nearby servant scolded, "Who are you? How dare you peek at our young master using the restroom? Don't touch the young master with your dirty hands." Sherwei and Lin Jua shot fierce glares at him in unison, startling the servant into immediate silence. Afterward, the precious Lin Jua took Sherwei's hand, inviting her to attend his daddy Ling Du's birthday banquet. Sherwei whispered to Lin Jua, "Can you take me to see your daddy? I have something very important to tell him." Lin Jua instantly puffed up his cheeks, saying, "So, you want to be my mommy? And here I was thinking I'd marry you when I grew up." However, a true gentleman never refuses a lady's request. "Fine, I'll take you to see daddy. Anyway, if daddy kicks the bucket someday, everything will be mine." Looking at the seemingly filial but secretly cunning little treasure, Sherwei couldn't help but sigh inwardly. His level of deviousness was exactly like Ling Du's. Regardless, in this life, I must reclaim everything that belongs to me from the Sher family. Meanwhile, all the powerful elders of the Lin family were seated solemnly in the meeting hall. There was only one topic for the meeting: selecting a wife for Ling Du to bring good fortune to the gravely ill old Madame Lin. Ling Du clearly wasn't invested in the matter of choosing a wife. "Just hurry up and pick someone. Don't waste time." Seeing her son's impatience, Ling Du's mother quickly asked, "What about the young lady from the Chief family? The eldest daughter of the Ho family isn't bad either. And the He family's seventh miss is even a renowned beauty." However, Ling Du rejected all three candidates. Lin Mu, standing nearby, felt a headache coming on. "Son, what kind of woman do you actually want? As long as you like her, mommy can accept anyone." But Ling Du again adopted an air of detachment. "Whatever, you guys handle it." Just as the elders were agonizing over choosing a wife for Ling Du, the butler came in to report, "Seventh master, the young master has returned." And he brought a woman back with him. At that moment, during the wife selection banquet, Sherwei, appearing with the adorable Lin Jua in her arms, became the center of everyone's attention. Murmurs filled the room. "Which family's daughter is she? She's absolutely stunning." In the crowd, Sherwei's stepsister and cousin revealed expressions of extreme jealousy. The cousin, her heart twisted with envy, stepped forward and pointed at Sherwei, declaring, "This woman doesn't have an invitation. She sneaked in. Hurry up and throw her out." Reborn into this life, Sherwei was no longer the easily bullied pushover she once was. She looked disdainfully at her cousin. "Look who's talking. Wasn't it you who stole my invitation?" Seeing this tactic fail, the cousin immediately pointed at Sherwei, cursing her for being shameless. "You already have a fiancé, yet you still come to a matchmaking banquet. Aren't you just trying to climb the social ladder and marry rich?" Before she could finish her tirade, Sherwei raised her hand and delivered a resounding slap across her cousin's face. "Whose dog wasn't leashed properly, letting you run wild?" The cunning little treasure, simply because someone had insulted his mommy, declared he would throw the offender to the crocodiles. Just moments ago, Sherwei had sent her cousin flying with a slap, causing the little treasure in her arms to giggle secretly. He even touched Sherwei's hand, asking with concern, "Mommy, does your hand hurt?" Seeing the little boy call Sherwei mommy, the cousin instantly became arrogant. "So, you've been fooling around with some wild man. Now even the little bastard has shown up." Sherwei was about to slap her again, but the little treasure in her arms turned his head, his voice chillingly cold. "You dare insult my mommy? Then I won't be polite anymore." After speaking, he ordered the bodyguards to slap his cousin's face until he was satisfied. Only then did the crowd realize that this cute baby was the Lin family's young master. The bodyguards carried out the cute baby's command with utmost seriousness. Crisp slapping sounds echoed endlessly. Yet the cute baby was far from satisfied. "Haven't you eaten? Hit harder." At this moment, the cousin, her face swollen like a pig's, cried out indignantly, "I am a younger sister of the Sher family's eldest young miss. How dare you beat me like this?" Hiding nearby, Ji Jie gritted her teeth in anger. This idiot, what is she trying to achieve for me? Seeing that the cute baby was about to drag the cousin out to feed the sharks, it was clear, the cuter the face, the darker the heart. Ji Jie braced herself and stepped forward. "Sister, you've misunderstood, cousin." Shi Wei, however, silently watched this posturing Ji Jie. Seeing Shi Wei ignore her, Ji Jie shifted her target to the cute baby. "Young master, I am Wei's older sister. That makes me your auntie, you know." The cute baby pinched his nose and backed away repeatedly. "Miss, your perfume is too strong." Daddy said, "This is the smell of a fox spirit. Men who get involved with it will have bad luck." He then ran to Shi Wei, asking if this woman was her sister. Shi Wei explained, "She's a stepsister, born from a stepmother. Like Cinderella's kind, ugly and utterly vicious." At this point, the pig-faced cousin ran over, hugged Ji Jie's legs, and furiously denounced Shi Wei. Shi Wei's mommy was already kicked out. Ji Jie's mommy is the real Madame Shi. Shi Wei isn't worthy of being her sister. This outburst made even Ji Jie want to slap her. Shi Wei chuckled coldly. There's a clear distinction between the legitimate and the illegitimate. An illegitimate daughter is indeed unworthy of being my sister. Hearing the murmurs of the surrounding onlookers, Ji Jie's expression grew increasingly ugly. She hastily changed the subject. "The grievances of the previous generation shouldn't affect us sisters. It's all my fault for giving your invitation a cousin. It was for your own good, really. Someone with a marriage engagement, like you shouldn't be attending this kind of event." A male onlooker, Go-Ju, who had been watching the drama unfold, immediately stepped forward. "Hey, why are you here for a blind date with the head of the Lin family? Have you forgotten the vows we made to each other?" Shi Wei toyed with her phone, replying coldly, "The engagement was something you proposed unilaterally. I never accepted it. If you'd had even a few snacks with your drinks, perhaps you wouldn't be acting so drunk." Seeing Shi Wei deny the engagement, Go-Ju instantly became furious. "I paid a bride price of 30 million, and now you're denying it." Just then, the continuous ding-dong of notifications echoed through the banquet hall. The gossiping onlookers all received an anonymous email. It turned out to be photos of Ji Jie and Go-Ju's secret rendezvous caught playing poker together. The pair instantly became like rats scurrying across the street, scorned by everyone. The enraged, cute baby ordered the bodyguards, "Throw all three of them into the sea." Shi Wei, however, told the cute baby, "We can't just throw them into the sea like that. We must first tie plenty of fish food to their bodies, then throw them into the sea." And so, the three were dragged away by the bodyguards, wailing like ghosts and howling like wolves. Shi Wei sighed inwardly. Life is but a few short decades. Why should I wrong myself? When dealing with scum, one must fight fire with fire. At that moment, on the second-floor corridor of the banquet hall, Ling Du had witnessed everything that just transpired. "This girl is quite amusing," he thought. "Let's choose her to be my wife." A moment later, Shi Wei's elders rushed over to tell her that the Lin family had formally proposed marriage. The bride price alone was 100 times what the Go family offered. Yet, Shi Wei remained unsatisfied. In her previous life, that clueless man Ling Du hadn't even given her a romantic proposal. He had simply thrown down an astronomical sum of money and married her. Things wouldn't be so easy in this life. What kind of woman could make a father and son fight over her with jealousy? The scheming little cub hid in a corner, comforting himself. As long as Daddy kicks the bucket, he mused, won't everything belong to us? The cold and aloof So slowly descended the staircase. His eyes met Shi Wei's. He couldn't shake the feeling that she seemed both strange and yet familiar. Just as the two were about to deepen their interaction, the little third wheel, Meng Bao, suddenly leaped at Ling Du's face. He wanted to cuddle with Daddy. Ling Du swiftly picked him up. The cute kid, however, teased his old man. The iron tree is finally blooming. You actually found me a mommy. He then glanced at Shi Wei, who was standing nearby, looking utterly smitten. Mommy is actually staring blankly at Daddy. Just moments ago, her eyes were filled only with this baby. How fickle. At this moment, the Lin family's butler came forward to convey Ling Du's intentions, asking Shi Wei if she was willing to become Ling Du's wife. After speaking, he even produced a sparkling 100-carat diamond ring. Shi Wei's eyes instantly lit up with golden light. How could this be just a diamond ring? This was clearly a mobile mountain of treasure. Shi Wei forced herself to calm down. Butler Zhong, I feel that a proposal is something the person himself should do. After all, I'm not marrying you but him. Wouldn't you agree, 7th Master Lin? Hearing this, Ling Du was momentarily taken aback. It was the first time anyone had made such a demand of him. The crowd also began to murmur, discussing how Shi Wei didn't know what was good for her. Shi Fu quickly pulled Shi Wei aside, bowing and scraping as he apologized to Ling Du, begging him not to take offense. Ling Du smiled calmly. Why should I take offense? She is my wife. Whatever she says is right. With that, he knelt down on one knee. He lifted Shi Wei's hand and kissed the back of it. Beautiful Miss Shi Wei, are you willing to marry me and become my wife? Shi Wei hadn't expected Ling Du to actually propose. This man had been hopelessly unromantic in her past life. Who knew he had a hidden romantic potential? She asked Ling Du, what benefits are there in marrying you? Ling Du generously replied, you will possess my body and half of my fortune. Shi Wei then stated that after marriage, she didn't want to just manage the household and raise children. She wanted to pursue her own career. Also, let's get married tomorrow. The sooner, the better. Ling Du slowly stood up and tilted Shi Wei's chin up. Are you afraid someone else will snatch me away? So impatient to marry. Aren't you afraid I'll neglect you after the wedding? Shi Wei reached out and wrapped her arms around Ling Du's neck. I bet you wouldn't have the heart. Because you like me, Ling Shiqi. But my liking for you has been long planned. Witnessing such a sweet scene, the surrounding onlookers instantly turned into fangirls. He's so smooth. It's so sweet. Kill me now to add to the happy couple's excitement. As the saying goes, lovers finally get married, while the loveless witness it firsthand. At this moment, the adorable Lin Jue was hiding nearby, secretly grinding his teeth. Daddy, that big pig's trotter. I clearly saw mommy first. The 6-year-old cub's dream was to snatch the woman from his daddy. That evening, in the Lin family garden, the adorable Lin Jue plucked petals from a rose in his hand, muttering incessantly, Mommy loves Jue Bao more. Mommy loves Daddy more. But the result left the little treasure utterly dejected. Sob, why is it always Mommy loves Daddy more? Probability is a lie. It's over, it's over. Before I can wait for Daddy to kick the bucket, Mommy will already be bowing down at Daddy's suit trousers. It's clearly a movie for 3 people, yet I never get to have a name. Unresigned, the little treasure plucked another rose. The men of the Lin family never admit defeat. Meanwhile, Shi Wei was still fretting about having to wake up at 3 a.m. for her bridal makeup. Suddenly, her phone rang. It was a call request from Ling Du. This narcissistic man had not only changed her phone screensaver to his handsome photo, but had even changed his contact name to Hubby Dearest. Shi Wei, clad only in a bath towel, answered the call. Ling Du stared at Shi Wei, momentarily stunned. Do you often talk to men dressed like this? Shi Wei found Ling Du's shy reaction amusing. She decided to tease him. What's wrong? Does 7th Master want a better look? Ling Du suddenly seemed flustered and quickly changed the subject. Did you receive the gift I sent you? Just as Shi Wei was wondering what gift he meant, there was a knock on the door. A servant informed her that young Master Lin had sent a painting. Pulling aside the red cloth, revealed a wedding portrait of the two of them. Ling Du put on a proud expression, fishing for compliments. We didn't have time for a wedding photo shoot, so this boss personally painted one for my wife. Shi Wei couldn't help but retort, it's painted quite well. Just don't paint again next time. How much must you dislike me to paint me standing so far away? And I look like a blind person. We look like a pair of zombies. How about I paint a wedding portrait instead? I guarantee young Master Lin will have face. Ling Du was so angry he could have snapped his pipe stem. This woman actually dared to question this boss's aesthetic sense. On the wedding day, Shi Wei, with the help of servants, put on her beautiful wedding gown. Mother Lin approached Shi Wei. I have a gift for you. This is a necklace given to me by the Lin family grandmother. It is only passed down to the daughters-in-law of the Lin family. With that, she took the necklace and personally fastened it around Shi Wei's neck. Shi Wei grasped Mother Lin's hand. Mother, I will definitely be a good, filial daughter-in-law to you. Mother Lin was quite pleased with Shi Wei's earnest declaration. Such a good child. Her looks and temperament are also a perfect match for my son. And what's more, in just one evening, she managed to win over that aloof grandson of mine. She is more than capable of shouldering the responsibilities of the Lin family's matriarch. Suddenly, a servant rushed in through the door. Madam, young madam, it's terrible. The young master is missing. Meanwhile, in a men's restroom elsewhere, the cute baby, Lin Jue, who had spent the night plucking rose petals, finally emerged. His eyes relaxed, yet his face etched with a look of utter exhaustion. He slowly pushed open the restroom door, only to bump right into the face of a provocatively dressed woman. Just as the cute baby was still pondering why he couldn't seem to pluck the mommy loves Jue Bao petal, a sharp reprimand came from behind him. Hey, little brat, don't you watch where you're going? Can you even afford to replace my lipstick? With that, she raised her hand, ready to strike the child. But the cute baby, quick-witted and agile, lifted his little foot and kicked the woman squarely in the knee. Miss, please get your facts straight. This is the men's room. The next second, the previously domineering cute baby transformed the moment he saw his mommy. He instantly turned into a tearful whiner, sobbing out his grievances. Mommy, this woman trespassed into the men's room. And she hit baby. Sobi. Mommy, protect me. The vicious woman, enraged, pinched Jue Bao's cheek. You little devil, you change your tune so fast. You clearly kicked me. Jue Bao slapped away the vicious woman's hand. Mommy, Jue Bao hurts. Shi Wei certainly didn't disappoint Jue Bao. With a swift movement, she executed a flying kick, sending the vicious woman sprawling to the ground. This kick is payback for Jue Bao. I hope my Jue Bao isn't hurt, otherwise, I'm not finished with you. Jue Bao hid behind Shi Wei, excitedly watching the fallen woman, little devil horns practically sprouting from his head. The vicious woman couldn't believe that the Shi Wei she used to manipulate would actually kick her. Could this woman have had some sort of overnight epiphany? Just then, a middle-aged bald man walked in. Baby, why are you sitting on the floor? Seeing the man, the vicious woman immediately scrambled towards him. Brother Xiang, you have to stand up for me. This little brat came out of nowhere and bumped into me really hard. The bald man comforted the vicious woman tenderly. Let me see who dares to bully my little darling. Shi Wei, holding Jue Bao, stated calmly from the side, it was us. The vicious woman thought her backup had finally arrived. She waited smugly, eager to see Shi Wei humiliated, who knew the bald man would shove her aside. He bowed respectfully and repeatedly to Shi Wei. Madam, my name is Lin Xiao. I have some minor connections with the Lin family. Why is Madam here? And what happened to the young master's face? Jue Bao pointed a finger at the vicious woman. She hit me. Just as the vicious woman was about to explain herself to the bald man, he slapped her hard across the face. You audacious woman! How dare you strike seventh master's son? The vicious woman clutched her reddened, swollen cheek, disbelief washing over her. This little brat was actually the Lin family's young master? In an instant, her world felt like it was collapsing. The bald man picked up his phone and called for bodyguards. You lot, drag her out of here. Give her a proper reception. Terrified, the vicious woman stumbled backward. Suddenly, she lunged forward, grabbing Shi Wei's leg, pleading, we're supposed to be best friends. You can't just stand by and watch me suffer. I know I was wrong. Shi Wei smiled faintly. Pleading with me is useless. It depends on whether Jue Bao is willing to forgive you. Desperate to save herself, the vicious woman gritted her teeth. She kowtowed frantically towards Jue Bao, confessing her faults. Young master, it was my fault for being blind and failing to recognize your importance. I shouldn't have bullied you. Please, spare me this once. Jue Bao, on the surface, put on an air of haughty magnanimity, stating that out of consideration for his mommy, he wouldn't pursue the matter for now. But inwardly, his thoughts mirrored Shi Wei's exactly. How could we possibly let you off so easily? Just you wait. Truly, mother and son were perfectly in sync. What's it like to have your wedding interrupted time and time again? The ceremony was about to begin. Yet, the groom, Ling Du, was nowhere to be seen. Shi Wei, clad in her pristine white wedding gown, stood alone, looking slightly awkward. Why isn't Ling Du here yet? That guy hasn't backed out of the marriage, has he? Below, Jue Bao watched his mother with a worried expression. Suddenly, someone among the guests pointed to the sky and shouted, Look quickly, there are helicopters. Indeed, for helicopters flew into view. One of them was even suspending the arcade machine Sherway played. Then, Ling Du, wearing a parachute backpack, leaped from a helicopter. He landed smoothly in an exceptionally cool pose. Looking at Sherway, he praised, "My bride is quite a stunning figure, doesn't she?" At this moment, the 4 helicopters continuously changed directions in the sky. Using their exhaust trails, they formed the words, "Sherway loves Ling," do the wedding ceremony officially began. Today we gather here to jointly witness the sacred union of this man and this woman. May I ask everyone present, does anyone object to their union? Just as the words fell, a voice called out from the distance, "Wait a moment." The crowd turned towards the sound. It was surprisingly Ling Du's cousin, Bai Qing Xiao. "Brother, sorry I'm late." Ling Mu walked over, chiding Bai Qing Xiao for being so late. Bai Qing Xiao, however, glanced at Shi Wei and replied, "Andy, my cousin has good taste. Sister-in-law is truly beautiful. As the saying goes, for good food, nothing beats dumplings. And for fun, nothing beats." Before he could finish, he felt Zhua Bao's murderous gaze and quickly sat down obediently to the side. The priest cleared his throat awkwardly twice and asked again, "May I ask everyone present, does anyone object to their union?" Unexpectedly, another voice called out from the distance, "Wait a moment." This time, it was Ling Du's good friend, the top star of the entertainment industry, Chi Ma Tong. He looked at Ling Du with a resentful expression. Suddenly, with tears welling in his eyes, he cried out, "Ling Du, how could you betray me?" Ling Du was instantly dumbfounded. Seeing such high drama unfolding, the wedding guests eagerly settled into their seats, ready for the spectacle. Zhua Bao, furious, was about to rush up and fight Chi Ma Tong. "Chi Ma Tong, you big villain, trying to mess with my daddy again." But he was swiftly picked up and pulled back by Qing Xiao. "Kid, calm down. Uncle Chi is just testing your daddy and mommy." Publicly, Chi Ma Tong was the entertainment industry's #1 star, seemingly stern, cool, and aloof. But privately, his favorite pastime was putting his close friends in awkward situations through various antics. For instance, dressing up as a pregnant woman to ruin Bai Qing Xiao's blind date, or dressing up as the deceased old Master Lin and appearing by Ling Du's bedside, or while Bai Qing Xiao was bathing, dressing up as Ling Du and sneaking up behind Bai Qing Xiao with a wicked grin. In short, Chi Ma Tong was a man who lived on the edge of courting disaster. Ling Du glared at Chi Ma Tong with eyes that could kill. "Are you looking for death?" This man crashes someone else's wedding to cause trouble, yet the bride nonchalantly handed him a handkerchief. "Wipe your tears before you continue crying." Chi Ma Tong, fully embracing his dramatic role, wasn't about to let Shi Wei off easily. "Seductress, give me back my brother Ling Du." Shi Wei quietly watched Chi Ma Tong. The next second, she transformed into a damsel in distress. "If I give him back to you, what will become of me? Why must every single one of you bully me? Is this heaven's torment upon me?" The onlookers were instantly stunned. Good heavens, you couldn't achieve this level of crying without having seen off several exes. Shi Wei continued her tragic tale. "I was abducted by villains into a remote mountain valley as a child. When I grew up, I was criticized by my boyfriend. Now, marrying Chia, I thought I could finally find stability, but then you appeared. Since you love Chia so much, I will grant you your wish. There happens to be a river just outside. I wish you both happiness." This drama was too much. The onlookers felt they couldn't quite stomach it. Meanwhile, Shi Wei was inwardly roaring with laughter. "Just a bit of acting? My skills are perfectly fine too." Chi Ma Tong, unsettled, grabbed Shi Wei's arm. "Miss, don't be rash. What kind of woman did Ling Du marry? Her life story is too tragic." Chi Ma Tong felt that if this farce continued, someone might actually get hurt. He quickly explained to Shi Wei that he was just joking. How could he possibly steal her husband? He then struck an exaggerated pose. "Ling Du and I are best buddies. Miss Shi, rest assured and marry him. In the future, anyone who dares to compete with you for Ling Du will have to answer to me. Chi Ma Tong. You, surnamed Lin, you must cherish such a wonderful girl, understand?" Having said that, he grabbed Shi Wei's hand and turned to run. Quick, quick, jump into the grave of marriage. Lock yourselves together." He placed Shi Wei's hand onto Ling Du's. "Did another good deed today. I have to get back to the film set. No need to see me off." Seeing the meddler had fled, Shi Wei grasped Ling Du's hand and said, "Hubby, let's continue with our wedding. Ling Du suddenly felt that Shi Wei was the true master of drama. The wedding proceeded. The priest asked for the third time if anyone objected. Ling Du, his face stern, stated, "This topic ends here." Skip directly to the next part. The priest immediately announced, "Will the bride and groom please kiss each other?" The two locked eyes, full of deep emotion. Shi Wei noticed something unusual about Ling Du, although he maintained an aloof posture. The tips of his ears were already flushed bright red. Shi Wei reached out, wrapped her arms around Ling Du's neck, stood on her toes, and initiated the kiss. Ling Du covered his mouth, shouting, "You woman, you hit my teeth. Are you that impatient?" Shi Wei chuckled, mocking Ling Du for being too dull. "Your teeth are like impenetrable walls, impossible to pry open." How could Ling Du tolerate such mockery? He embraced Shi Wei and kissed her back fiercely. Watching their affectionate display, the onlookers felt goosebumps rise all over. Seeing his mommy and daddy being so lovey-dovey, the adorable Lin Zhuo felt heartbroken and wandered alone to the dessert station. "Happiness is theirs. I have nothing." He sipped his milk tea, his heart aching. Ling Du quietly asked Shi Wei, "How is my technique?" She advi replied, "Faso. Barely a 6 out of 10. Just passing." Ling Du, instantly unconvinced, wanted another go to reclaim the missing 4 points. The gossiping crowd, watching the spectacle, grew restless. Do you have to flaunt your affection like this? Have you no consideration for others' feelings? At the wedding banquet, the malicious bestie, Go Fei, under the guise of deep friendship, revealed that Shi Wei had never attended school. The members of the Lin family instantly grew agitated. How can our Lin family marry a woman who hasn't been educated? This is simply outrageous. Seeing someone dissatisfied with his wife, Ling Du, having returned after changing, protectively defended her. "I'm marrying my wife. Does that require your approval?" The adorable Zhuo Bao also ran out to support his mommy. 10 minutes ago, several files on Longling Academy graduates were made public. One of them belongs to my mommy. You must understand, Longling Academy specializes in cultivating geniuses from all walks of life, covering fields like industry, agriculture, academia, and business. Its graduation rate is brutally low, only 20%. Those who successfully graduate are geniuses among geniuses. The influence and background of Longling Academy are such that even someone of Ling Du's stature can only look on in awe. Ling Du reached out, wrapping his arm around Shi Wei's waist. "Wifey, you truly hide your talents well." Shi Wei smiled wryly inwardly. "I can't believe that even after graduating and retiring from the world, my name still circulates." Now that her identity was revealed, she could no longer honor the promise made to her mother. It turned out that when Shi Wei was just born, she was abducted by Shi family elders and taken to a remote mountain valley. Her mother spent 18 years searching before finally finding her. Later, discovering Shi Wei's exceptional intelligence, her mother took her to apply to Longling Academy, where she was admitted exceptionally. Before passing away, her mother, worried Shi Wei might get entangled in troubles, specifically instructed her to conceal her identity as a Longling Academy student. The malicious bestie never imagined Shi Wei's academic background would be so formidable. Is this woman possessed? The third miss of the Shi family, Shi Fenchun, even publicly questioned the authenticity of Shi Wei's degree. Besides, what's so great about a bachelor's degree? I have a master's. Seeing her slandering his mommy, Zhuo Bao, in his cute, childish voice, demanded Shi Fenchun apologize. Cousin Bai Qingxiao stepped forward and said to Shi Fenchun, "Being awarded a bachelor's degree by Longling Academy, in some respects, is more impressive than having a doctorate or being a professor. Furthermore, I seriously doubt the legitimacy of your master's degree. Please come with my subordinates." Ling Du and Zhuo Bao chimed in at this moment, instructing their men to remove everyone who claimed Shi Wei hadn't attended school. On his parents' wedding night, this adorable child made a request. He wanted to sleep with his mommy. Before Shi Wei could even respond, Ling Du decisively refused from the side. "Keep dreaming." Zhuo Bao had no choice but to scamper away sheepishly. When evening arrived, Shi Wei struck an exceedingly tempting pose, waiting for Ling Du. Ling Du glanced at her indifferently, asking with concern, "Did you twist your waist?" Shi Wei now ate her hair. "Tonight is one of the 4 great joys of life, our wedding night. Don't you want to do something?" Ling Du dominantly flung back the covers, then promptly fell onto the floor. Wei was somewhat puzzled. Hubby, are you planning to sleep on the floor? Ling Du, lying coolly on the floor, mistaken original, should be bed based on next line, but translating is written first, then correcting based on context, retorted, what sweet dreams are you having? You're sleeping on the floor. Get down. Correcting based on context. Ling Du, lying coolly on the bed, retorted, what sweet dreams are you having? You're sleeping on the floor. Get down. Seeing how utterly dense this blockhead Ling Du was, Wei took the initiative, placing her hand on his shoulder. No way. I'm sleeping on the bed, and you're not getting away either. Feeling his dignity provoked, Ling Du flipped over, pinning Wei beneath him. You've been planning to get close to me for a long time, haven't you? Wei caressed Ling Du's face, admitting frankly, I went to great pains to get close to you, but it was all because of love. There were no other calculations. Didn't you also pick me out from among so many women at first glance? This is called love at first sight. With that, she leaned her lips towards him. As for the rest, you wouldn't want to watch, so I watched it for you. Early the next morning, Wei ate while thinking about last night. That damned Ling Du actually kept a strict distance from her, like the Chu River and Han border. Annoyed, she took a few bites and declared she was full. Ling Du asked thoughtlessly, why did you eat so little? Wei stretched out her leg, teasingly brushing against Ling Du, because I'd rather eat you. Goosebumps instantly erupted on Ling Du's skin. He raised his foot to kick Wei's away, but missed, hitting the table instead. The pain made Ling Du break out in a cold sweat. Just you wait. Wei moved closer to Ling Du, pinching his earlobe. Seventh Master, are you deliberately putting up a contrasting persona? Or do you have a split personality? Otherwise, why were you so openly affectionate during the proposal and wedding, only to be so cold and distant on our wedding night? Drawing a clear line? No, she continued mockingly. What split personality? You're just a weirdo who's outwardly cold, but actually proud, coy, and sometimes even sullen and scheming. Ling Du gritted his teeth, glaring at Wei. Praise followed by insult, a slap, then a sweet date. What is this dog training? The woman took out a jade pendant, preparing to mesmerize the man. Wei told Ling Du, this is a belated birthday gift for you. Ling Du looked at the pendant. It seemed quite old. Is this a family heirloom passed down as dowry? Wei smiled faintly. Seventh Master has sharp eyes. This is a family treasure my mother gave me. It has a history of over 200 years. Ling Du felt that Wei's life had been so tumultuous. This jade pendant must be incredibly important to her. He gripped the pendant tightly, smiling. All right, I accept the gift. This was the first time Wei had seen such a natural smile from Ling Du. Ling Du wiped his mouth. It's about time. We need to leave. You must behave well in front of grandmother. She's not an easy person to pass muster with. Meanwhile, at the Ling family's ancestral home, Ling Du's cousin, Shun Mu, was whispering bad things about Wei into their grandmother's ear. The grandmother, arranging flowers, said, I know you have feelings for your cousin, but he's already married. You need to understand propriety. Shun Mu wanted to say more, but a servant entered from outside to announce, Seventh Master and the young madam have arrived. The grandmother adjusted her clothes and sat upright, waiting for them to enter. Although Ling Mu spoke highly of Wei, the grandmother was still uneasy. She wanted to see Wei for herself. A quarter of an hour later, Wei, sitting on the sofa, saw the grandmother concentrating on her flower arrangement. She spoke up, the Swaboku style of flower arranging. Its style is very conducive to cultivating the mind and spirit. I also have some small knowledge of flower arranging and hope I might learn a thing or two from grandmother. The grandmother glanced at Wei. She'd heard she came from Longling Academy, so her qualifications must be top-notch. But to be the matriarch of the Ling family, one must also consider her heart towards her family and the clan. Thinking this, the grandmother began to reprimand Ling Du for marrying so hastily. What era is this? Still believing in things like marrying to ward off ill fortune. And you, she turned to Wei. Did you pass Zhuobao's test? Wei gave an awkward smile. Probably not. Before the wedding, Zhuobao was still angry, telling me not to marry Daddy, but to marry him instead. He said he was better than Daddy. Ling Du, standing aside, smiled faintly. He hadn't grasped the severity of the situation, thinking it was just childish talk. Grandmother, hearing this, was quite puzzled. Hadn't Zhua Bao always disliked contact with women? How could he possibly get along so well with Shi Wei, whom he had only known for a few days? This woman was certainly not simple. At this moment, Ling Du told his grandmother that they had previously hired an early education tutor for Zhua Bao. However, that tutor had repeatedly bullied Zhua Bao when no one was around. Zhua Bao would then run, crying loudly, to find Ling Du in the study. Over time, this led to Zhua Bao becoming increasingly resistant to women. Shi Wei hadn't expected Zhua Bao to have gone through such an experience. Her maternal instincts instantly surged. Ling Du grasped Shi Wei's hand firmly, saying, "That day at the banquet, when I saw how much Zhua Bao liked and approached Shi Wei, my heart was set on marrying only her. I hope grandmother can understand me." Only then did Shi Wei fully realize she had gained favor because of the child. She looked at grandmother with a serious expression and said, "Rest assured, I promise from now on, I will never let Zhua Bao suffer even the slightest grievance." This malicious cousin not only eavesdropped, but also managed to knock over a cup while spying. Scalding Shi Wei, Shenmu hypocritically bowed her head in apology. Ling Du shot a glance at his malicious cousin, then took Shi Wei's hand to apply medicine. Shi Wei calmly said to Shenmu, "It's all right. Just bring me a tissue, please." "Thank you." Shenmu's heart skipped a beat. Could she have realized I knocked over the tea intentionally? Grandmother, from the side, urged Ling Du, "Quickly take Wei to apply the ointment. I have a treasured bottle of ice jade balm. It prevents scarring." As they left to treat the burn, Shenmu seized the chance to speak ill of Shi Wei again, but grandmother interjected, "That child has a sincere spirit. I heard she endured many hardships before. As for you, Mumu," grandmother continued, "you know exactly what happened with that cup of tea. How about Great and sends you abroad to study? When you return, find a suitable husband. Stop pining after your cousin." Hearing this, Shenmu quickly knelt beside grandmother, pleading, "Great aunt, I've had no family around me since I was little. I just want to stay by your side and cousins forever." Grandmother sighed helplessly. "AI, continuing like this will only bring you pain. Don't do anything foolish again. Otherwise, even Great Aunt won't be able to protect you." Shedding crocodile tears, Shenmu promised never to make a mistake again. Elsewhere, a servant had already bandaged Shi Wei's injured hand. Ling Du instructed them to brew another pot of tea and have Shenmu bring it over herself. Shi Wei grumbled, "Does Ling Du really love the tea she pours that much? I'm quite angry right now. I might lose my temper later. Be careful you don't get caught in the crossfire." Ling Du looked at Shi Wei's hand with some heartache. "Are you foolish? Didn't you even know to cry out when you were scalded?" Shi Wei smiled faintly. "What's the use of crying out? Can it change the fact that I was burned? Growing up, I suffered countless injuries, big and small, every day. I've long since developed skin as tough as copper and bones like iron." Just then, Shenmu walked in carrying the tea. Shi Wei deliberately moved closer to Ling Du, wrapping her arms around his neck. "Hubby, you love tea so much. From now on, I'll brew it for you every day, okay?" Shenmu's face instantly darkened. Forcing back her jealousy, she handed the tea to Ling Du, who knew Ling Du would raise his hand and knock the tea over, scalding Shenmu, who cried out affectedly, "Cousin, it hurts." Ling Du looked at her coldly. "It's supposed to hurt. It wasn't a waste of a cup of tea then." Shenmu, feeling guilty, asked Ling Du why he said that. Ling Du didn't even glance at her. "Out of respect for grandmother, I could pretend not to see your inappropriate actions in private before. However, the next time you dare spill anything on my wife, I'll have both your hands chopped off and fed to the cats." Terrified, Shenmu hastily knelt down, begging for mercy. "I was wrong. I'll never dare again." Shi Wei then reminded Shenmu from the side, "I hope you'll address me differently in the future. Please call me Mrs. Xiao." Seeing the unconvinced look on Shenmu's face, Shi Wei raised her hand to Ling Du's lips. "Hubby, it hurts. Blow on it." With an outsider present, Ling Du had to give Shi Wei face, especially since she was injured because of him. He held Shi Wei's hand, gently blowing on the wound. Shi Wei seized the opportunity to steal a peck on Ling Du's forehead. Young Zhua Bao, despite his tender age, already knew cheesy pickup lines. Clasping his hands over his heart, he put on a pained expression. Shi Wei asked with concern if he wasn't feeling well. The next second, Zhua Bao grasped Shi Wei's hand, declaring, "What leaves me breathless isn't the homework daddy assigned, but my heart longing for mommy." Shi Wei, filled with affection, swept Zhua Bao into her arms. Nearby, grandmother observed Zhuo Bao's closeness to Shi Wei. Wei marveled inwardly at the incredible nature of fate. She just wondered if this burgeoning mother-son affection could actually persuade Zhuo Bao to eat his vegetables. When dinner time arrived, the table was laden with an array of exquisite delicacies. Grandmother praised Shi Wei, remarking that her culinary skills were truly impressive. Hearing her cooking receive such approval, Shi Wei felt immense joy. Shenmu placed a bowl piled high with vegetables before Zhuo Bao. Young master, this is the loving, nutritious meal the young madam meticulously prepared for you. Gazing at the tomatoes, carrots, and eggplant in the bowl, Zhuo Bao plunged into despair. Shenmu feigned kindness, asking Zhuo Bao, "You don't want to eat your vegetables, do you?" "Don't blame the young madam. She only meant well. I'll go fetch you some meat right away." But Zhuo Bao thrust out his hand, blocking Shenmu's, his eyes fixed intently on the vegetables as if contemplating a profound decision. At that moment, Ling Du reached over and snatched Zhuo Bao's bowl of vegetables. "If you won't eat them, then I will." Zhuo Bao instantly grew frantic. "But mommy made those for me. How could you, daddy? You're just too mean." Nearby, Shi Wei silently fumed. Ling Du is truly ruthless, even toward his own son. Isn't he afraid his son won't look after him when he's old? Ling Du, who had initially only pretended to take Zhuo Bao's vegetables, took a few bites and found them surprisingly delicious. Shi Wei asked Ling Du how they tasted. The domineering CEO's pride prevented him from admitting they were good. "Acceptable. Barely passing grade, I suppose." Shi Wei beamed. "As long as you like them, that's wonderful." Zhuo Bao watched the scene unfold, his little heart shattering. Daddy not only stole the special meal mommy made just for me, but he's also being all lovey-dovey with mommy. How could daddy do this to Zhuo Bao? I'm definitely joining the Revengers League. With that thought, Zhuo Bao scampered over to Shi Wei, turning on the charm. "Mommy, I want to eat vegetables, but you have to feed me." Shi Wei lifted Zhuo Bao on her lap. "Your portion was eaten by your daddy. Let's share mommy's portion, shall we?" Zhuo Bao wrapped his arms around Shi Wei happily. "Okay, mommy feed Zhuo Bao." Shi Wei picked up a piece of vegetable and gently fed it to Zhuo Bao. "Zhuo Bao needs to eat lots of vegetables, okay? Otherwise, you won't grow tall, and then you won't be able to protect mommy." Hearing this, Zhuo Bao became instantly determined. No, I must eat lots of vegetables, grow up fast, and snatch mommy back from daddy." The little treasure's daily obsession was plotting how to win his mommy back. This very thought sent a cold shiver down his father's spine. Grandmother turned to Shi Wei. "Since Zhuo Bao is so fond of you, you should take charge of his guidance from now on." Shi Wei responded with delight. "Please rest assured, grandmother, I will absolutely treat Zhuo Bao as if he were my very own son." The venomous cousin, Shenmu, seeing Shi Wei gain increasing favor, couldn't bear it and interjected with provocation. "Young madam is truly remarkable. You are the very first woman the young master has allowed to get close. Even grandmother struggles to gain such favor with the young master." Shi Wei gently set Zhuo Bao down. "This wretched woman," Shi Wei thought, "trying to kill me with faint praise? It won't be that easy." She fixed Shenmu with a cold stare. The old madam cherishes Zhuo Bao, and Zhuo Bao respects the old madam. What need is there to speak of gaining favor? Furthermore, the mother-son connection between Zhuo Bao and myself was bestowed by the old madam. Ling Du, beside them, let out a soft chuckle, slipping into his protective husband mode. "Grandmother," he drawled, "the people around you are certainly becoming quite eloquent." Ling Du's laughter sent a jolt of fear through Shenmu. The soup tureen she held slipped from her trembling fingers, crashing heavily onto the floor. Shi Wei rushed forward instantly, asking with urgency, "Grandmother, were you splashed? Are you all right?" The old matriarch shot a sideways glance at Shenmu, her voice chillingly calm. This time, "Shenmu, no matter the excuse, great aunt cannot keep you here. Go to the farm on the outskirts and reflect for a while. After that, arrange to study abroad." Shenmu pleaded, utterly panicked. "Great aunt, you can't send me away just because I dropped a soup tureen. I've served you so." Her desperate words trailed off, unfinished. Shi Wei cut him off. "You were driven away because you're consumed by greed, attempting to sow discord between grandmother and me. Wouldn't keeping you around be like nurturing a viper in my bosom?" Shen Mu still wanted to argue, but was escorted out by butler Zhong Shu. At this moment, Zhuo Bao tugged at Shi Wei's clothes. Mommy, look, I ate everything. Will you cook for me again tomorrow? Okay. Shi Wei hugged Zhuo Bao dotingly. Of course I can. Now, it was Ling Du's turn to feel jealous. This woman keeps saying she wants to be my woman, yet when Zhuo Bao pursues her, she doesn't refuse. Is she just stringing me along? Ling Du reached out and picked Zhuo Bao up. A real man shouldn't rely too much on his mother. You'll have to marry a wife someday. If you don't marry, who will take care of you when you're old? Zhuo Bao blurted out. Can't I just marry mommy? Angered, Ling Du lifted his hand and tossed Zhuo Bao to the butler. I think you really need a lesson. Take him upstairs to do his homework. Zhuo Bao shouted defiantly. You only discipline me when you're jealous. Daddy is abusing his power for personal revenge. Later that evening, grandmother said to Lin Mu, there's something very strange. Zhuo Bao is mischievous and clever. No one in the family knows his preferences. Yet, somehow, Shi Wei knows exactly what Zhuo Bao wants. This kind of tacit understanding, it's like telepathy between mother and son. But Zhuo Bao's birth mother and she are completely different people. It's truly too strange. Could it be that love at first sight really exists in this world? The fatherly love and filial piety between this father and son are quite unique. Just moments ago, Ling Du decided to have a serious talk with Zhuo Bao. He strongly suspected his own young cub genuinely wanted his wife. Meanwhile, Zhuo Bao was still sulking and had set up a trap on his door, preparing to ambush his daddy. However, his daddy didn't play by the rules either. Seeing Zhuo Bao wouldn't open the door, he directly removed Zhuo Bao's door from its hinges. You cried and fussed about redecorating your room before. Is this how you decorated it? Your taste is like an old man's. Not cute at all. Zhuo Bao retorted that the deathly Barbie pinkling Du had arranged last time was the real lack of taste. Seeing his young cub question his taste, Ling Du cracked his knuckles and looked at Zhuo Bao. Zhuo Bao thought his bottom was definitely going to suffer this time. Unexpectedly, Ling Du just reached out and ruffled Zhuo Bao's hair. Tell me, why do you like Shi Wei? Hearing this, Zhuo Bao grinned mischievously. So daddy is jealous. Then daddy, why do you particularly like mommy? Ling Du paused for a moment. Who said I like her? It's just that compared to other women, she's more suitable to be your stepmother. Zhuo Bao curiously asked if it was because she was his chosen mommy and if they would separate from mommy in the future. Ling Du replied haughtily, that depends on Shi Wei's performance. But regardless, it has nothing to do with you. Zhuo Bao instantly flew into a rage. I endured the pain of parting to entrust my precious mommy to daddy. Yet you treat her so lightly. Daddy is a bad guy. I will definitely snatch mommy back. After this heart-to-heart talk deepening the father-son bond, Ling Du felt even more agitated. Returning to his bedroom, Ling Du began to ponder why exactly he had chosen Shi Wei. Was it just because Zhuo Bao liked her? If it's about beauty, how could I, a dignified, overbearing president, be so shallow? As for intelligence, Shi Wei is barely passable. Her family background is even less worth mentioning. There are plenty far superior to hers. Why on earth did I choose her? This is so frustrating. Just as Ling Du was lost in thought, Shi Wei walked into the bedroom, carrying dessert. Seventh Master, would you like some chestnut cake? It's fragrant and delicious. The atmosphere was set. Want to give a try? Startled, Ling Du instantly backed away. Shi Wei asked with a look of grievance. Am I that scary? What do you mean by backing away? If you don't eat it, I'll take it to Zhuo Bao for a late-night snack. Ling Du immediately glared at Shi Wei and shouted, Don't you dare go. Late-night snacks are bad for children. Shi Wei thought, what is he so angry about? Is it because of the argument with Zhuo Bao? She tried to persuade him. Zhuo Bao was just speaking childishly without malice. As his daddy, can't you be a little gentler with your own cub? You always scolding Zhuo Bao will frighten him. I'm going to sleep with Zhuo Bao tonight. Hearing this, Ling Du immediately pushed Shi Wei onto the bed. Tonight, you're not going anywhere. You can only stay here with me. In an instant, Shi Wei turned the tables, wrapping her arms around Ling Du's neck. Ha! I didn't expect I'd get to mess with you tonight. The more I think about it, the happier I get. Ling Du heartlessly pushed Shi Wei away. In your dreams, he had almost played with fire too long. Go take a shower and cool down. A faint smile touched Shi Wei's lips. Ling Du, let's see how long you can hold out. I have plenty of patience. The brother-in-law and the younger brother-in-law eyed each other with displeasure. The situation was extremely tense. An hour earlier, Shi Wei was lounging lazily in the courtyard, basking in the sun. She initially wanted to pick a fight with the maid, Xiao Li, just to pass the time, but Xiao Li firmly believed that whatever the young madam said was right and refused to argue with her. Finding herself bored, Shi Wei could only contemplate her future. Right now, she was being weighted on hand and foot. Sooner or later, she'd become useless. In her past life, although she was the Shi family's second daughter, the suppression from those malicious relatives had kept her impoverished and destitute. Suddenly living such a lavish life felt somewhat unfamiliar. Although she was a top graduate from Longling Academy, aside from her beauty, she felt she had nothing else to offer. Suddenly, Shi Wei had a brilliant idea. Why not start her own modeling agency and venture into the fashion world while she was at it? Xiao Li, your figure is wasted being a maid. Come be a model. I'll be your agent. Indescribable images instantly flooded Xiao Li's mind. She covered her face shyly and said, I'm not that kind of person. Just as Shi Wei was pondering how to secure the startup capital, Butler Zhong Shu came in to report that someone was looking for her. The visitor was none other than Shi Wei's younger brother, Shi Chun. Sis, why did you suddenly get married without any warning? Did the head of the Ling family force you? Give me a perfect explanation. Just as Shi Wei was about to explain, she suddenly realized something was amiss. Shouldn't you be the one explaining? You just took off on a backpacking trip without a word. You had me worried sick. Shi Chun took out a gift and said to Shi Wei, Sis, don't be angry. I wanted to get you a present, but I didn't want to spend the Shi family's money. So I went to Europe for a music festival, won some prize money, and bought you those shoes you wanted before, but couldn't bear to buy. Seeing how well-behaved her brother was, Shi Wei affectionately pinched his cheek. Aren't you silly? Your sister doesn't lack money. You should have kept it for yourself. At that moment, the domineering CEO, Ling Du, walked over, radiating a murderous aura. He demanded to know who this man was with Shi Wei. The two men stared at each other. The air around them grew heavy with tension. Shi Chun turned to Shi Wei and declared, Sis, I don't approve of this marriage. Hearing this, Ling Du's mood instantly brightened. So, it was his younger brother-in-law. He wrapped an arm around Shi Wei. Whether you approve or not, we are already legally married. Shi Chun's expression immediately darkened. How could his sister possibly be happy with this man? One was a young, hot-headed brother. The other, a domineering, arrogant husband. Shi Wei found herself caught in a difficult position. This man was monitoring his wife, talking to another man. Not long before, Shi Wei had grasped Ling Du's hand and started acting cute. Hubby, I want to chat with Xiao Chen alone for a bit. Could you give us some space, please? Flustered by her charm, Ling Du shyly turned and left. Shi Chun, standing nearby, was stunned. His sister had to resort to coaxing this man just to talk privately with him. Back inside, Ling Du immediately ordered his subordinates to set up surveillance in the garden. Meanwhile, Shi Wei was comforting her brother. Don't be angry. Ling Du is your brother-in-law. After all, just consider giving me face. Also, come back to the Shi residence with me tomorrow. Shi Chun shook his head, refusing. I'm not going. I have nothing to do with the Shi family anymore. Shi Wei reached out and gave Shi Chun a light flick on the forehead. You silly piglet. We need to take back what belongs to us. We can't let those scumbags benefit. They're the illegitimate daughters. We are the rightful heirs. Besides, there are things Mother left for us. Are you willing to just give them away? Old grudges and new hatred must be settled with them together. We have to reclaim everything they took. Shi Chun felt his sister was right. The siblings reached an agreement. They began strategizing for their return to the Shi residence tomorrow. First like this, then like that. Watching Shi Wei laughing happily, Shi Chun thought to himself, if I can inherit and revitalize the Shi family, perhaps sister will have an easier time with Ling Du. Then, he lay his head on Shi Wei's lap. Cease, primera mismo. After Mom passed away from illness half a year ago, we haven't had a home. Shi Wei gazed at her younger brother, her voice tinged with sorrow. I miss her very much too. Sis is married now. Shi Chun, you'll build your own family in the future too. We both need to live well. At this very moment, in the monitoring room, Ling Du's face turned an ugly shade of green. Aren't this brother and sister acting a bit too intimately? Shi Chun shifted, sitting up straight. Sis, I have a bad feeling about that Ling Du. He doesn't seem like a normal person. Since you just got married, let me take you to get a divorce right away. Sure Wei found herself in an awkward position, unsure how to respond. No, he's actually quite magnanimous. He's just a little arrogant, and perhaps his words and actions can be a bit cutting, that's all. A worried expression clouded Shi Chen's face. I heard he might not be very capable. He wouldn't do anything strange to you, would he? In the monitoring room, Ling Du felt like he was about to explode with rage. Who is this insolent brat saying isn't capable? Shi Wei quickly covered her blushing face, stammering shyly. His stamina is incredible. He's definitely not incapable. Don't worry, your sister is very happy. Shi Chen froze, utterly petrified. What? Could it be that his sister had already been completely conquered? He was completely oblivious to the fact that when his sister was determined, she could even deceive herself. Unwilling to concede, Shi Chen pressed on, trying to persuade Shi Wei. Sis, you can't just blindly devote yourself to him because he's capable. What if you end up having a child? Then there would truly be no turning back. Shi Wei's heart leaped in her throat. She already had a child. Ling Du, still observing everything, let out a cold scoff. This kid certainly sticks his nose where it doesn't belong. It seems I, as his brother-in-law, need to give him a proper welcome. A 100-carat diamond ring. Have you ever witnessed such a blinding golden radiance? Just moments before, Shi Wei had brought her younger brother back to the Shi family residence. The members of the Shi family stood assembled at the entrance, their faces wreathed in welcoming smiles. Welcome, welcome. You're finally back. Why didn't Master Ling return with you? The siblings found their performance utterly nauseating, feeling as though they had stepped into a refuse heap. Shi Wei nonchalantly swept her hair back, stating coolly, he simply didn't wish to come. The gifts were left at the entrance. Upon hearing that Ling Du had not accompanied them, the Shi family members' expressions instantly soured. They began muttering indignantly amongst themselves, complaining that Shi Wei was terribly ill-mannered, causing them to waste their preparations. Shi Chen, fiercely protective of his sister, was about to launch into a rebuttal when Shi Wei stopped him. Actually, it's rather fortunate Ling Du didn't come. After all, besides Xiao Chan and myself, who would genuinely want to return to a home like this? The Shi family members were struck dumb by her sharp retort. The malicious grandmother, sensing the shift, hastily changed the subject. Let's eat first. Your mommy personally prepared a whole table of dishes. Shi Chen's face instantly darkened. My mommy is already gone. Which mommy are you referring to? Shi Wei added from aside. We have only one mommy. As for that impostor, she isn't even worthy to polish our true mother's shoes. Hearing this, the stepmother flew into a rage, looking ready to attack Shi Wei. What did you just say? Old Master Shi slammed his cane hard against the floor. All of you silence. Just look at the fine mess you made all those years ago. With that, he ordered Shi Finshan to escort the grandmother and the mommy upstairs to reflect on their actions. Old Master Shi behaved this way solely because Shi Wei was now the matriarch of the Ling family. He absolutely had to keep her placated. You two don't just stand there. Come, sit down quickly. Once everyone was seated, Old Master Shi began. What happened in the past? It was all an unfortunate accident. Let's put it behind us. We are, after all, one family. Shi Wei mused inwardly. Just because it's in the past doesn't mean I won't hold onto the grudge or seek retribution. Outwardly, however, she offered a faint smile and nodded in agreement. I came today primarily to discuss a matter with everyone. Xiao Chun is already 18. Isn't it about time we started making preparations for him to inherit the company? Hearing this, the stepsister's heart gave a jolt. So, she returned today to fight for the inheritance, she quickly interjected, attempting to sow discord. Xiao Chun held quite a grudge against Daddy before. He explicitly stated he would never inherit the Shi family business. Now, he suddenly desires to inherit? Could it be that someone has coaxed him? Shifu also added his voice. Indeed. Before, Daddy arranged for you to learn about managing the company, yet you displayed absolutely no interest whatsoever. Shi Wei let out a soft chuckle. Oh, Father, it seems you misunderstood Big Sister's words. Big Sister was making insinuations, wasn't she? Suggesting that I would ally with the Ling family, conspire with Xiao Chun, and ultimately swallow the Shi family's assets. But I am already married to an immensely powerful CEO husband. Who on earth would covet the paltry assets of the Shi family? As she spoke, she deliberately flashed her 100-carat diamond ring, its brilliant golden light practically blinding the assembled members of the Sher family. Sher Wei's expression shifted. But stepsister, asking like that, could it be that you have designs on the Sher family's assets? To think this man's orientation is questionable. Just moments ago, Sher Wei had pointed out that her stepsister's reputation was too tarnished, disqualifying her as an heir. Those glossy reports from Fun Fong Entertainment might fool Grandpa and Dad, but anyone in the industry can see through them. If the Sher family were truly handed over to you, the consequences would be unthinkable. Since stepsister has no interest in the Sher family assets, why not step aside and take a vacation? Sher Chun chimed in, seizing the chance to twist the knife. I hear Go Ju has been kicked out of the Go family. How heartbreaking. Perhaps you two could go to the seaside together, feel the breeze. The stepsister ground her teeth in fury. This pair, singing the same tune, they want to get rid of me. Even palace intrigue isn't this vicious. Seeing the situation escalate, old Master Sher had to intervene. Enough causing trouble about splitting the family. You, he addressed Sher Wei, are bound to marry out eventually. The Sher family cannot be handed over to you and an outsider. Seeing that Grandpa had made up his mind, the stepsister, though unwilling, put on a brave face. She turned to Sher Chun, speaking earnestly. Little Chun, although you have certain quirks, once you're in charge of the Sher family, you must stop frequenting those places that damage the family's reputation. Sher Chun stared coldly at his stepsister. If you have something to say it directly. Don't beat around the bush. Old Master Sher grew curious. What exactly had Sher Chun done to harm the family's reputation? The stepsister feigned reluctance, holding up her phone. Oh, it's nothing much, she began. It's just that after being rejected by the campus belle, little Chun started acting strangely, getting ambiguously involved with several male executives. Sher Chun instantly understood her insinuation and shot to his feet. What are you implying? Speak clearly. Sher Wei grabbed Sher Chen's arm, urging him to calm down. Just then, Father Sher snatched the phone from his daughter, the stepsister. Let me see what exactly happened. When he saw the photo on the phone, his face instantly turned pale green. This, how improper. Old Master Sher was even more furious, pointing at Sher Chun and cursing, you disgraceful thing, to do something like this. Get out. Anxious, Sher Chun turned to explain to Sher Wei, but Father Sher grabbed old Master Sher's cane and swung it toward Sher Chun. What's there to explain? You rebellious son. Sher Wei raised her hand and caught the descending cane. Seeing is believing. I have the surveillance footage from that night. Let's watch it before saying anything more. She then instructed Xiao Li to bring out the surveillance data. Look, from the time little Chun entered until he left, it was only half an hour. After entering the room, he directly ordered a bottle of 100 proof lipstick brew liquor. With just 3 glasses, he drank those men under the table. He did nothing else. Xiao added from the side. As for the photo on the young Mrs. phone, I just did a search and found the original version. The stepsister panicked instantly. What original version? The one on my phone is the original. Sher Wei smiled and clicked open the laptop. Time to witness a miracle. Oh my, the original photo is actually of stepsister herself, taken during a banquet she attended. Later, stepsister spent a lot of money buying it back from the paparazzi. It's just unclear why it was photoshopped to look like little Chun. And the location where the photo was edited traces back to a new model orange phone within this very Sher family villa. So, who exactly has shamed our ancestors and damaged the family's reputation? Have you ever seen a card with so many zeros? Sher Wei brought her brother home to reclaim the assets left by their mother. But the vicious stepmother and stepsister had already hollowed out those assets. Sher Wei recalled her previous life the moment she fell from the cliff. The words her stepsister had spoken. She felt her mother's death was inextricably linked to them. She resolved to investigate the truth behind her mother's passing. Suddenly, Sher Wei felt a chilling presence behind her. It turned out to be Ling Du, who had been waiting outside for her all day, his patience worn thin, radiating coldness like a waiting wife stone. Sher Wei, he stated icily, do you perhaps misunderstand the meaning of I'll be right back? Sher Wei coaxingly stepped forward and took Ling Du's arm. Hubby, I'm sorry. I was so focused on settling my mother's assets that I lost track of time. I didn't know you were waiting for me. With that, she ushered both Ling Du and Sher Chin into the car. It was best to go home first, rest up, and continue settling accounts at the company tomorrow. Lingdu felt like something wasn't quite right. Wasn't I just angry? Why has everything inexplicably calmed down? Still, she wants to liquidate her mother's assets. Could it be that she needs money? Whatever, it's none of my business. I already gave her a black card when I proposed. She shouldn't starve. In the blink of an eye, 3 days passed. Wei stared at the balance on her phone, gripped by panic. If this goes on, I'm going to starve to death. Beside her, Xiaoli couldn't help but comment, Madam, in your effort to gather money to start the company, you tried borrowing from your seniors at the Agriculture and Forestry College. But it turned out they were even poorer than you. Instead, you ended up giving them your own savings. You even felt sorry for their hard work and treated them to lavish meals for several days straight. Wei stubbornly raised her hand. Say no more. Although it pains me to part with my money, I don't regret it. My seniors took good care of me back then. Seeing them struggling now breaks my heart. Regardless, the company must be established. As for the startup capital, oh, the worry. Just then, Zhuobao popped up from nowhere, holding a shiny card. Mommy, Zhuobao will support you. Wei initially thought Zhuobao was holding a toy card from a Playhouse set. She took it and opened it for a look. It was actually a passbook. Staring at the long string of zeros, Wei's eyes nearly popped out. She quickly closed the passbook. No. Mommy can't use Zhuobao's money. Zhuobao protested, saying he didn't want Mommy to starve, and even less did he want Daddy to have the chance to flaunt his wealth in front of Mommy. Trying to act cool, Wei tucked the passbook back into Zhuobao's pocket. It's okay. Zhuobao, keep this to find yourself a wife someday. When Mommy gets rich later, I'll build Zhuobao a zoo. Xiaoli reminded her from the side. Wei, 7th Master, included a black card in the proposal gifts. You can use it directly. Wei felt troubled. Using someone else's money felt awful. Suddenly, she had a bright idea. Since I'm at a dead end, why not show Ling do the company's proposal plan and ask if he's willing to invest? Hearing this, Zhuobao's eyes welled up with tears. It's all money. Why does Mommy think Daddy smells sweeter? And so, on a bright and breezy afternoon, Wei arrived at Ling Du's study and began her enthusiastic presentation. Ling Du listened, breaking out in a cold sweat. He took a tactical sip of water and said, "Stop talking. I'll invest 50 million. Just consider it gaining experience. But if you lose it after 3 months, you'll obediently stay home and be a good wife and mother." Wei accepted the check with a slight smile. And what if I don't lose it? Then 7th Master must willingly and proactively fulfill his husbandly duties. Ling Du nonchalantly agreed. No problem. I like to see just how capable you really are. The man had just given the woman a check, but the next second he regretted it. All because he overheard the woman on the phone, asking her brother to find some models. Ling Du imagined his wife surrounded by a swarm of admirers and flirts, his face instantly turning green. What if this woman lacks self-control? Won't I end up wearing a green hat? He anxiously reached out to snatch the check back. I've changed my mind. Wei shielded the check, asking quizzically, why? I'm launching a women's product line. For the opening, I certainly need to invite some beautiful female models to grace the event. Ling Du clutched his forehead, relieved after the false alarm. Next time, don't pause so dramatically when you speak. Hearing this, Wei grinned mischievously. Did 7th Master perhaps think I wanted to hire male models? Do you men think we women only like handsome guys? In the presence of stunning ladies, handsome guys are hardly worth mentioning. Youth doesn't appreciate the charm of older sisters, mistakenly treasuring handsome boys instead. Seeing Wei acting so smugly, Ling Du had a bad feeling. He decided he should take the check back after all. It was too dangerous. Wei backed away repeatedly, startled. Are you kidding? A gentleman's word is his bond. Once spoken, it cannot be retracted. A husband truly isn't as reliable as a son. Ling Du cornered Wei against the window. You have no retreat left. Where else do you think you can hide? Wei glanced down at the swimming pool below. Pushing Ling Du away, she said, take it back then. So petty. Worst case, I'll just borrow from Zhuobao. And in the future, when I cook delicious food, I'll only give it to Zhuobao. At that moment, a sudden gust of wind swept through. In an instant, the check was blown out the window. Anxious, Wei disregarded her own safety, climbed over the windowsill, and jumped. Fortunately, there was a swimming pool below. Ling Du broke out in a cold sweat from the shock. He hastily took off his jacket, then leaped down after her. With a splash, he landed in the pool. Shui looked at Ling Du. Why did you jump down? Ling Du gasped, shi wei sond. Are you hurt anywhere? What are you thinking? Jumping from the second floor. We need to see a doctor right away. With that, he directly lifted Wei into his arms. At this moment, Wei felt delighted inside. It was rare for him to show such genuine emotion. It would be a shame not to seize the opportunity to tease him. She leaned weakly against Ling Du's chest. My leg is injured. It hurts so much, and the check is soaked too. It's all your fault, all your fault. Ling Du shyly turned his face away. Who told you to be so impulsive? Stop crying, stop crying. I'll just write you a new one. Of course, Wei wouldn't let him off so easily. She raised her hand, touched Ling Du's cheek, and turned his face back towards her. Tilting her head up, she pressed forward firmly. It's a deal then. Let's seal it. Being kissed. His mother, suspecting her own son might want to harm her daughter-in-law, was frightened and hurried over to rescue her. Butler Zhong, Shu told Mother Lin not to worry. I believe 7th Master and the young madam have a very good relationship. Please look. Outside the window, Ling Du was indeed holding Wei, displaying their affection. Mother Lin smiled with relief. Being able to marry a child like Wei, it truly is Du's blessing. A few days later, Chun, having just returned to his studies at the academy, ran into trouble. His rival, Wang Chaoyong, taunted him coldly. Isn't this the great talent, Chun? You haven't been at school for over a month. I heard you ran off to serve some old men. Look at this skilled appearance in your photo. You must be quite experienced by now. Chun initially didn't want to bother with him, but Wang Chaoyong was extremely mocking, his eyes fixed only on Chun. He even started speaking ill of Wei. This was an insult Chun could not tolerate. You can insult me, but not my sister. Chun rushed forward and threw a punch, just as the conflict was about to escalate further. Wei appeared behind Wang Chaoyong. With a swift motion, she brought her bag down on his head. You've got quite some nerve, huh? You dare bully my people? Chun asked curiously. Sister, why are you here? Wei told him she was looking for a cat. Just then, a timid voice came from behind. Are you Chun's girlfriend? Wei turned her head. She recognized this girl. In her previous life, this girl had developed hatred for Chun out of unrequited love. After turning dark, she constantly sought revenge against Chun. Wei replied calmly, I am Chun's older sister. With that, she took Chun's hand and turned to leave. In the rehearsal room, Chun had gathered several pretty female classmates to act as models. Wei looked them over and seemed quite satisfied. She told Chun, let's go with these young ladies. I'll figure out the costumes. Also, if you don't have class tomorrow, come back with me to the Shah residence to see Dad. It turned out that after Wei's mother left the Shah family, she remarried Hai, a fellow researcher. Hai also treated the siblings as his own children. But after their mother passed away, Hai was constantly distraught and unfortunately got into a car accident. He ended up in a vegetative state. Hai's sister, therefore, greatly disliked the siblings. She stipulated that the two could only visit Hai on the 10th of each month. Chun said dejectedly that he missed their father very much too, but tomorrow wasn't the visiting day set by the Shah family. Wei smiled faintly. We don't need to be afraid of the Shah family now. From now on, we'll go whenever we want. We don't need to care about their expressions. Seeing this, Chun agreed. He took Wei's hand and said, Sis, I'm willing to join your studio. With us siblings working together, we can surely achieve great things. Actually, Chun's thoughts were simple. He worried that Ling Du was just playing around with his sister. He had to work hard himself. Once he had the money, he would support his sister. Why were the two men acting so awkwardly? It turned out Ling Du was showing off his affection in front of them, introducing his wife, Wei, to his two good friends. However, the two just stood there shyly. Ling Du called out irritably, Come over here. Why are you standing there? Are you shy? Wei chuckled, finding it unexpected that these two big shots were actually so innocent and cute. Thus, he proactively extended his hand to greet the two. Chang Tian shook Wei's hand. Hello, sister-in-law. Let's go to a concert together sometime. Music pairs even better with rainy days, you know. A jealous Ling Du immediately slapped Chang Tian's hand away. Since when did I know you, this rough fellow, appreciate music? Do you listen to it as a lullaby? At this moment, the real estate tycoon Cohen Nanfeng poked Wei's shoulder. He presented her with with a property deed as a wedding gift. Wei accepted it with both hands and opened it to look. It was actually an entire building. Are all tycoons this extravagant? She hastily tried to return the deed to Kuan Nanfeng. Ling Du's cousin, Bai Qing Xiao, stepped forward to persuade her. Wei, just accept it. Consider it accepting on behalf of my cousin. Before he could finish speaking, his arm was suddenly grabbed. It turned out to be Shi Chun, who couldn't stand seeing anyone touch his sister-in-law. Uncle, I heard you're going to give me psychological counseling. Bai Qing Xiao pulled his arm back. Are you blind? I'm so young. How am I an uncle? Shi Chun retorted mockingly. A man who gossips so much is either an uncle or an old biddy. Adhering to the principle of if you can fight, don't argue, the two began an intimate, interactive exchange. Meanwhile, Chong Tian, holding a guitar and humming a tune, walked up to Shi Wei. Like magic, he produced a bouquet of roses. Sister-in-law for you. Indeed, one must guard against fire, theft, and brothers. Shi Wei accepted the roses, suddenly feeling a strong wave of resentment from behind her. She quickly changed the subject. Right, I didn't even have a bouquet at the wedding last time. Today makes up for it perfectly. Ling Du, hearing this, wrapped his arm around Shi Wei's shoulder. I agree. Let this bunch of single dogs share some of the joy too. The two brothers felt deeply insulted. So what if you have a wife? We have freedom. Shi Wei tossed the roses like an embroidered ball. The two brothers, who were just proclaiming their love for freedom a second ago, immediately started scrambling for the bouquet. However, neither managed to catch it. It fell directly into the arms of Shi Chun and Bai Qing Xiao, who were tussling nearby. Ling Du chuckled wryly, remarking, I heard that whoever catches the bride's bouquet is the next to marry. You two seem quite fated, eh? Shi Chun and Bai Qing Xiao looked at each other. Fated? With this man? They then dropped to their knees, retching, feeling as if they would never love again. Life seemed utterly bleak. This was a devoted man, calling out his deceased wife's name even while in a vegetative state. It turned out Shi Wei had taken her brother Shi Chun to the Sha residence to visit their father. Just as they reached the door, they heard the sounds of card playing inside. Shi Wei's expression instantly darkened. She raised her hand and pushed the door open forcefully. Sure enough, the caregiver was playing cards with several people inside the room. The caregiver, looking guilty, said, Miss Shi, what brings you here? Please sit down. I'll go get Mr. Shah right now. Shi Wei stated, no need for you to push him. I'll go in and see for myself. However, the caregiver blocked her way, using the excuse that it wasn't visiting hours today. Shi Wei raised her hand and pushed the caregiver aside, quickly walking into her father's room. The scene inside made her eyes widen in shock. Leftover food scraps sat on the table, and flies buzzed everywhere in the room. Her father, Shahai, sat there with a vacant expression, constantly murmuring, Emoli, Emoli. Shi Chun knelt beside his father, heartbroken. It's such a hot day, yet Dad is still wearing a thick, dirty sweater. How many days has it been since the caregiver washed him or changed his clothes? He rolled up his father's sleeve, revealing rows of scratches on his arm. The caregiver, her negligence exposed, explained, You can't blame me for this. Your father is always uncooperative. Shi Wei had no intention of listening to her excuses. She raised her hand and slapped her hard across the face, knocking the caregiver to the ground. I pay so much money to hire you to take care of my father, and this is how you care for him? The caregiver, holding her face, retorted defiantly, I haven't mistreated him. Whatever I eat, he eats too. Besides, you only give me $5,000 a month. My salary is $3,000. What can the remaining $2,000 buy? It's good enough that I agreed to take care of him. Ask those three, whose treatment is as bad as mine. Hearing this, Shi Wei thought grimly. Aunt asks me and Shi Chun for $20,000 every month, but only $5,000 reaches the caregiver. She must have pocketed the difference. At this thought, Shi Wei turned to Shi Chun, instructing him to first tend to the wounds on their father's hands, carefully documenting everything with photographs. Then, securing the evidence, she firmly shut the door behind them. With a decisive thud, she slapped a thick stack of bills onto the table. Aunties, she announced, her voice steady. Shall we discuss a little business? Tell me exactly how the caregiver mistreated my father. 200 yuan for every incident reported. No limit. You may begin now. Don't let this chance slip away. The lure of a substantial reward ignited their courage. The three women practically fell over each other, desperate to speak first. The caregiver always bathed your father with cold water, scrubbing him harshly. She never bothered with his physical therapy, and whenever your father had an accident, she'd hit and curse him, sometimes even using a feather duster to strike him. As Sher Wei absorbed these horrific details, the fury simmering within her finally boiled over. She fixed the caregiver with a venomous glare. "You dare to treat my father like this? Are you tired of living? Aunties, if you are willing to testify for me, to ensure this caregiver faces prison, I will provide an additional bonus." Hearing the promise of more money, the three women readily agreed without hesitation. The caregiver collapsed to her knees, desperately pleading with Sher Wei for mercy. Anything, she begged, as long as she didn't have to go to jail. Sher Wei let out a chilling laugh. "Anything, truly? Does that include implicating my dear aunt?" What? The very woman who had been radiating arrogance moments before was suddenly sent hurtling 100 meters away in the next instant. Just moments earlier, Shahai's sister-in-law, Chunju, had arrived home with her daughter, only to find all their possessions unceremoniously dumped by the front door. "Sher Wei, have you completely emptied our home? What is the meaning of this?" The maid, Xiaoli, stood nearby, respectfully addressing Sher Wei. "Madam, all the rubbish has been cleared out, except for these two." Chuanju's daughter, consumed by fury, lunged towards Wei. "Sher Wei, who gave you the right to touch our things? I'll teach you a lesson." Naturally, Xiaoli would not stand by and watch her mistress be attacked. A swift kick sent the girl flying. Chunju rushed to her daughter's side. "Wei, please forgive her. You are the elder sister. Don't stoop to her level." Sher Wei scoffed. At the Lin family banquet, she certainly didn't hold back when helping outsiders plot against me. What kind of elder sister am I supposed to be to her? Chunju bristled at the words. "How can you say such things? Have you forgotten who's been caring for your father? Just because you married into wealth doesn't mean you can discard gratitude." Sher Wei cast a pointed look at the cowering caregiver. "Sher Chun and I gave you 20,000 yuan every month. Yet, you only passed 5,000 to the caregiver, and 3,000 of that was just her salary. So, it seems, Annie, the actual amount spent on my father's care each month was a mere 2,000 yuan. Is that right?" Chunju floundered, momentarily speechless. Suddenly, her eyes darted towards the caregiver, and she lashed out, striking her across the face. "What, 5,000 a month? You clearly pocketed the money yourself, and now you dare turn around and accuse me. I see it now. You two conspired to frame me. Where's your proof?" A slight, knowing smile touched Sher Wei's lips. "Since you put it that way, let's proceed with legal action. I'm quite curious to see if you've truly been framed." The mention of legal action sent Chunju into a panic. "My dearest niece, I was wrong. Please, just forgive us this once." Sher Wei reached out, firmly grasping Chunju's chin. "Forgiveness? It's simple, really. How you treated my father is exactly how I will treat you, except I will repay it tenfold." With that, she ordered Xiaoli to drag the mother and daughter outside and administer a harsh lesson. An hour later, the siblings sat beside their father. His beard is gone. He's back to being the handsome old man we know. "Dad, we're so sorry you had to suffer. We've driven the bad people away. You can rest and recover properly at home now. We'll protect you." At that moment, Xiaoli entered the room. She reported finding a photograph while clearing out the basement. A group picture featuring Sher Wei's parents and several colleagues. Gazing at the photo, Sher Wei felt a pang of deep sorrow. Oh, if only mother were still here. She gently presented the photograph to her father. "Dad, do you remember this picture?" To her surprise, upon seeing the image, Shahai's eyes widened dramatically. He became visibly agitated, his whole body trembling. Sher Wei watched her father's intense reaction, lost in thought. This photo, it was from an event mother attended shortly before she passed away. Since then, she hadn't seen any of the other people in the picture. Father's extreme reaction. Could there be some hidden story behind it? This man couldn't even recognize his own son. After scrutinizing every child in the kindergarten, he finally identified the little one in the rabbit costume as his own. This realization left his son, Zhuobao, deeply unhappy. "I'm going to do my homework. Don't call me for dinner," Sher Wei said with a smile. "Zhuobao, Uncle is in Mommy's room. Do you want to go see him?" Hearing this, Zhuobao instantly brightened up. "Is it the uncle who looks like a little golden retriever?" Ling Du, standing nearby, felt a twinge of jealousy. You're not even this excited to see your own father. Zhuo Bao puffed up his cheeks and looked at Ling Du. Daddy, what date is Zhuo Bao's birthday? Ling Du answered confidently. Isn't it November 8th? Shi Wei quickly reminded him. It's January 18th. Ling Du coughed awkwardly. I'll head back to my room first. In Shi Wei's room, several people were watching a boy band performance on TV. Zhuo Bao looked at Shi Chun and said, Uncle, I don't think any of these boy bands are as good looking as you. You'll definitely be more famous than them in the future. Seeing how adorable and well-spoken Zhuo Bao was, Shi Chun finally understood why his sister always said being a mother was so rewarding. Shi Wei suggested to Shi Chun, why don't you just enter a talent show? You can use the opportunity to build the studio's reputation. As for the outfits for the show, we need to find a renowned designer. My plan is to invite Zui Yaoer to design them. Shi Chun was instantly surprised. Zui Yaoer is a globally renowned designer, famously proud. Getting him won't be easy at all. Shi Wei chuckled softly. Don't you worry. Not only can your sister get him to design for you, but I can also make him our studio's chief designer and help us take off. Shi Wei was so confident because she remembered from her past life that Zui Yaoer had faced his Waterloo, falling from grace and burdened with massive debt. Unable to accept reality, he ended his own brilliant life at the age of 29. If Shi Wei could help Zui Yaoer defy fate, change his destiny, and become close friends with him, how could she not make him the studio's chief designer? Shi Chun asked Shi Wei, what are you thinking about? You didn't even hear me talking to you. Speaking of which, aren't you Zui Yaoer's biggest fan? You've collected so many of his posters. Hearing this, Zhuo Bao quickly took out his little notebook to jot it down. So mommy likes Zui Yaoer. Daddy's life is too sweet right now. It needs a dash of sourness. With this thought, Zhuo Bao scampered off to Ling Du's study. Daddy, mommy's true love isn't you. Zui Yaoer is mommy's true love. He finished speaking and looked expectantly at Ling. Do hurry up and get jealous. Get so angry your face turns ugly. Then mommy won't love you anymore. How could Ling Du let his own cub make fun of him? He immediately ordered the butler to take Zhuo Bao away and punish him by making him face the wall for a month. The man discovered his wife's true love wasn't actually him. The domineering CEO decided to go find his wife and demand clarification. Your brother has left. Come to the study for a moment. I have something to ask you. Shi Wei stated calmly. Let's just talk here. I'm going to sleep soon. Ling Du looked at Shi Wei. You sleep in your own room every day. That violates the marriage contract. Shi Wei stood up, annoyed. Chi, have you lost your memory? I come to your room every day looking for you, but you won't even let me in the door. I treat you as my husband. I hope you can treat me as your wife. Ling Du was rendered speechless by her retort. Your feelings for me might not be genuine. Let's just keep up appearances. We'll terminate the contract after 3 years. Shi Wei reached out and grabbed Ling Du. You make yourself clear. How am I not genuine towards you? Why are you being so difficult? What exactly happened? Ling Du shook off Shi Wei's hand. He turned and left proudly, leaving only the words, rest early. Shi Wei felt he was being utterly baffling. Could it be that something is weighing on his mind? The next morning, the family sat together for breakfast. Ling Mu told Shi Wei she had specially prepared some traditional Chinese medicine to nourish her body. Ling Du commented sarcastically from the side. Shi Wei suffered quite a bit at the Shi family home. She really should take supplements, lest her personality development be incomplete, making her overly sensitive. Not one to back down, Shi Wei immediately launched a counterattack. Qi should also take good care of himself, lest he become too fickle, overly thoughtful, prone to dreaming, anxious, suspicious, and changeable. After that, neither said another word to the other. Shi Wei stood up. Mother, please take your time eating. I'm heading out first. Qi, I'll be back late tonight. Remember to leave the door unlocked for me, okay? Seeing the proud CEO give no reaction, Shi Wei turned and left awkwardly. After Shi Wei left, Ling Mu began to reprimand her own son. She offered you a way down, yet you leaped even higher. When I gave birth to you, did I forget to include emotional intelligence? Hearing this, Ling Du retorted, feeling somewhat defiant. I never asked her to bow her head. Ling Mu continued her lecture. Who bows their head first isn't important. What truly matters is whether the other person appreciates the gesture. Appreciation leads to restraint and consideration. Lack of appreciation means taking advantage while boasting, leaving the other party utterly heartbroken. Supreme are the sun and moon. Closest, yet most distant, want are husband and wife. Is it effective communication without being dismissive, or avoiding problems and letting conflicts fester? The choice is yours. So, will our domineering CEO heed his mother's counsel? These two women shared a friendship forged in fire, a bond stronger than life itself, born during their university training days. Together, they had endured a time when even surviving felt like drinking the northwest wind, utterly dependent on the whims of the weather. Years of shared hardships and joys throughout university had woven their connection tighter than that of blood sisters. Just moments ago, Wei had arranged to meet her senior sister and senior brother, only to find them disguised as fast food restaurant employees. Upon inquiry, she learned it was a mission assigned by their superiors. Since neither of them could cook, their stomachs, empty for the entire day, rumbled in protest. Wei couldn't stand by any longer and decided to step into the kitchen and prepare a proper meal for them. Senior sister, I've contacted some of the seniors who have fallen ill. They're all willing to join us. We should start preparing the resource network now. Her senior sister casually slung an arm around Wei's shoulders. Relax. We'll handle the connections and equipment. You, our wealthy benefactor, just need to provide the money. Have you heard? There's a faction within the empire known as Night Dove. Their leader vanished 3 months ago. Some of the smaller groups relying on Night Dove are now causing trouble, trying to break away. The higher-ups in Night Dove are offering a hefty sum for someone to help them clean up this internal mess. It's practically a windfall, a plump target with foolish people and plenty of money. However, I heard Luosophin and Jaisai are also vying for this contract. How infuriating. Hearing those two names sent a jolt of surprise through Wei. She hadn't imagined she'd get another chance to face them after graduation. It turned out Luosophin and Jaisai were Wei's former classmates from Longling Academy. Due to their adjacent student numbers, they were frequently assigned to missions alongside Wei and her two friends. The problem was, those two fought dirty. They had clashed numerous times with Wei's trio, leaving a trail of bad blood. Presented with this rare opportunity for a rematch, Wei had no intention of letting them off the hook. Once the food was ready, the three friends, reunited after a long separation, began to drink and celebrate. Suddenly, the shop door swung open. The CEO, Ling Du, had arrived in search of his wife. Wei looked up, curious as to how Ling Du had found this place. Ling Du forçait à smile. Hadn't this woman borrowed money to start studio? Why was she here, playing chef in a fast food joint? After the introductions were made, Ling Du had barely settled into his seat when he felt an icy gaze fixed upon him. It was Wei's senior brother, staring intently. Ling Du couldn't shake the feeling that this senior brother resembled a stern father-in-law. What was with that look, scrutinizing him as if he were a prospective son-in-law? Wei spoke to Ling Du. You know so many talented young men. You should play matchmaker for my senior sister. Weave a red thread for her. Ling Du blinked. Momentariliste tuned. You too. Aren't you a couple? The senior sister chuckled, waving her hand dismissively. Ha ha. When not involved like that, I'm still very much single. As for him, she gestured towards the senior brother. His child is already old enough to run errands. A woman throws herself at a man, wanting to chat with him about life. Just then, Wei's senior brother, ever perceptive, noticed something unusual. Junior sister, you addressed Mr. Ling as seventh master earlier. That's hardly a typical term of endearment between husband and wife, is it? Wei cursed inwardly. Trouble. Her senior brother was a titan in the world of interrogation. Had he sensed the truth? She quickly leaned into Ling Du's embrace, forcing a slightly awkward smile. Oh, we're very casual with names. Seventh Master, hubby. Adieu, darling. Switching it up keeps things interesting. The senior brother was clearly unconvinced by Wei's explanation. He found the couple's dynamic distinctly unnatural. Furthermore, there was an air of guardedness about Ling Du whenever he looked at Wei. Could it be, Mr. Ling, that you object to my junior sister being a student of Longling Academy? Hearing this, Wei felt a wave of dismay. Even an outsider could perceive Ling Du's reservations about her. No wonder he often says such strange things, she thought. Perhaps he truly believes I married him with hidden motives. Just then, the senior sister, seated nearby, suddenly exclaimed, I remember now. I read about that scandal involving Mr. Ling and Chi Ma-tong. Don't tell me you two aren't a marriage of convenience. Having said her piece, the senior sister slammed her hand dramatically onto the table. Gazing menacingly at Ling Du, Mr. Ling, please clarify the rumors. Prove that you love my junior sister, she demanded. Ling Du sighed softly. He picked up the wine bottle from the table and gulped down the entire contents. Liquid courage, indeed. Fortified by the bottle of wine, Ling Du wrapped an arm around Shi Wei's neck and pulled her into a fierce kiss. Seeing such a prime opportunity, Shi Wei certainly wasn't going to let it pass, proactively taking the lead. The two engaged in a passionate battle of lips and tongues. Although they had kissed many times, Shi Wei felt this time was somehow different. Witnessing this scene, the senior sister and senior brother secretly discussed, these two can't possibly be in a sham marriage, right? It's rare to see a couple kiss like that in front of outsiders. The battle concluded. Ling Du smiled and said, now you can rest assured, right? Ours is a normal marriage. Honey, since senior sister suspects my relationship with Chi Ma-tong, let's have Chi Ma-tong come over and clarify things. Blushing, Shi Wei looked at Ling Du, this infuriatingly proud man. He was sulking and ignoring her at breakfast, yet so passionate just now. Had his brain short-circuited? By evening, Ling Du carried the thoroughly drunk Shi Wei home. Shi Wei told Ling Du, senior sister and senior brother are like family to me. You behaved so well in front of them. I'm very happy. Hearing this, Ling Du shyly turned his head away. Kissing you so suddenly earlier, I was out of line. It won't happen again. Shi Wei immediately grew anxious. No, you have to keep being like that. Then, she tackled Ling Du onto the bed. Ling Du, you must have had someone investigate me, right? The man had prepared everything, but the woman had fallen asleep. Just moments before, Shi Wei had confronted Ling Du. You definitely had someone investigate me, didn't you? Seeing that Shi Wei had noticed, Ling Du readily admitted, yes, that's true. Shi Wei burst out laughing. The person you hired is really incompetent. We've been married for 2 months. How has he not finished the investigation and proven my innocence yet? Ling Du sat up, wanting to explain that as the head of the Ling family, some things were unavoidable. Shi Wei placed a finger on Ling Du's lips. You don't need to explain to me. The innocent prove themselves. Just keep investigating. Anyway, in this lifetime, I will never leave you, no matter what. Ling Du is somewhat taken aback. Aren't you angry that I'm investigating you like this? Shi Wei hugged Ling Du and smiled faintly. If I like Ling Du, I must like Ling Du's suspicion and sensitivity, like Ling Du's pride and awkwardness. I can't just like Ling Du for being handsome and rich. Ling Du's face flushed red at Shi Wei's words, his heart pounding wildly. He gently leaned towards Shi Wei's cheek. You truly are special. From now on, feel free to make your moves. I'll play along till the end. Hearing this, Shi Wei leaned in close. Then let's have a kiss right now. Ling Du looked disgusted. You've been drinking. Let's wait till next time. Shi Wei, of course, wouldn't let him off. She reached out, unbuttoned Ling Du's coat, and then smoothly pushed him down. Hooking a finger under Ling Du's chin, she purred, I hear that intimate activity between husband and wife can reduce depression and even has beauty benefits. With that, she forcibly kissed him. Truly, a woman 3 parts drunk can act circles around you. As a man, how could Ling Du always be the passive one? He flipped over, pinning Shi Wei beneath him. You really are restless, aren't you? Just as the two were about to deepen their exchange, Shi Wei raised a hand to stop Ling Du. I did drink, after all. I should probably go brush my teeth first. Ling Du moved Shi Wei's hand away. We've already gotten to this point, and you're telling me this? We still haven't. Before he could finish, he realized Shi Wei was already lying there, fast asleep. Ling Du helplessly tucked Shi Wei in. I really can't win with you. I'll let you off the hook for today. The man subdued the villain with just one move. Just moments ago, on a bustling commercial street, Shi Wei carried various gifts bought for Zhe Yaoer, worrying slightly if these items would meet his standards. Watching the affectionate couples on the street, Shi Wei recalled the morning scene. Waking up, Shi Wei felt her head splitting. Why did you hit my head last night? Even if you wanted to do something with me, you didn't need to knock me out, did you? Ling Du flew into a rage upon hearing this. I wanted to do something too, but you were sleeping like a log. Shi Wei felt rather speechless. Consequently, her relationship with Ling Du had progressed further, evolving from the Chu River and Han border demarcation to sleeping in the same bed. Suddenly, Shi Wei sensed something amiss behind her. She realized someone was following her. Two people, in fact. She knew Ling Du had people investigating her, but this clumsy tailing technique? Definitely not Ling Du's men. Shi Wei scoffed inwardly. She decided to play along with her two shadows for a bit of fun. Turning into an alley, she set down the things she had bought. Spinning around, she called out, "You've been following me for quite a while. Must be tiring. I see you. Come on out." Seeing they were exposed, the followers emerged. Slowly, one stepped forward, removing his hat. "It was that scumbag Goju. Wei," he began. "It was my fault before. I didn't know how to cherish you. Please, give me another chance. I definitely won't let you down this time." Shi Wei laughed scornfully. "So it's Goju. Still haven't improved one bit, have you? Your acting is atrociously bad. I can't even be bothered talking to you. Get lost before I decide to get physical." Goju fell silent for a moment, then yelled at Shi Wei, "Shi Wei, as long as you are still my fiancé, even for a day, you belong to me for life. Because of you, I even lost my position as the Go family heir. You have to take responsibility for me. Since you refused the easy way and chose the hard way, don't blame me for what happens next." His lackey standing nearby immediately took out a camera, ready to shoot. A faint smile touched Shi Wei's lips. She pointed up at the sky. "The sun is really beautiful today, isn't it?" Goju was baffled, completely failing to grasp why Shi Wei was commenting on the sun's beauty. Shi Wei's gaze turned ice cold as she looked at Goju. Suddenly, she lunged forward, grabbing him by the throat. "What I mean is," she hissed, "such a beautiful sun. You won't be seeing it anymore after today.